This is Blake Atwood with FaithVillage.com. We're talking with Ken Coleman, host of his own syndicated radio talk show, aptly named The Ken Coleman Show, and author of One Question, Life-Changing Answers from Today's Leading Voices. So, last question, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'll just do a wrap-up in this idea of why do I write a book about questions, and why do I introduce a phrase in the last chapter of the book called Habit of Inquiry. And it's simply this, is that I believe we have millions of people who have quieted their inner child. And life happens. And I'm wondering what's happening after the 8th grade. If that data that I mentioned earlier is true, and I believe it to be true, then we have people entering the workforce, entering the real season of life, that grown-up season of life where they're supposed to be doing what only they can do, right? And living a life of significance, because we all want that significance. And so if they're at 8th grade asking 2 to 3 questions, then that means that's why the workforce is full of people who have no idea what they're supposed to do with their life. And more importantly, they don't know how to ask the right questions to figure it out because we've beat it out of them in our education system. So my final comment would be to parents more than anybody else, and leaders. Parents, in that you need to know this trend is happening, and you hold the keys to keeping that inquisitive spirit alive in your kids so that when they leave your home and you launch them into the world and into the life that God has called for them, that you have prepared them to always be asking questions, because the God of the universe desperately wants us to ask questions because He has the answers. And then to leaders. Leaders, be aware that you're going to have people coming on your staff who have no idea how to ask questions. And they didn't get in the home what I just challenged parents to do. So then you have to almost retrain. And I think the most effective leaders are going to be the ones who know how to ask the right questions of their team, and more importantly, create a culture of curiosity. Because a culture of curiosity leads to a culture of connection. And when you can create a culture of connection, whether it be in business or in your ministry, wow, that's when great stuff starts to happen. So that would be my final challenge.